Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another round at the Piper's Table. It's quite early still. It's about 4 a.m. here in central Indiana, and I am very excited for this morning's smoke because it's one that I've never tried. And if you caught the video yesterday of my tobacco haul, then you will know I'm going to smoke some Chelsea Morning. So, I'm experimenting a little bit with the lighting. I've got a bunch of candles going, so hopefully it's bright enough for you guys to see well enough to enjoy the video. It's still very dark out. It's very early, and I'm having a very relaxed morning, and turning on the artificial electric lights just didn't suit my vibe this morning. So I wanted to be able to film the video to try this first bowl with you guys. So yeah, hopefully you can see well enough to enjoy it. So this morning I'll be smoking GL Pease Chelsea Morning. I just really dig the presentation from GL Pease. This is part of the Old London series, and so far from the Old London series, I mean, I don't really think you can go wrong. I've never tried this one. As I said, I'm excited to get into it because I've been gravitating towards the mild medium Englishes in the early morning territory. And this one, from the contents, it's got a lot of Kias, it's got some Turkish Orientals, and some Virginias, and a touch of Perique. So it should be pretty interesting. And, the fact that it's got some Orientals, we're going to be entering maybe some Balkan territory as well, which, as you all know, those are my two favorites. But anyways, yeah, I always like the presentation from GL Pease, and the tins that they ship them in. I just think it's a brilliant design because it's sealed. You know what I mean? These are ready to age. You don't have to put them in jars. You don't have to do anything special. Set them in your cabinet, whatever, and let them do their magic. But let's see, this one was packed on April 21st of 2022. So, wow, this one's almost a year old already. So that's kind of cool. And that's another thing I like about what GL Pease does is they put that packaging date on the bottom so you know exactly when this was committed to the tin. Anyways, I'm going to have some of that, and I'm going to smoke it. This is a pipe I haven't smoked on the channel yet, but this is my favorite pipe to smoke my morning English blends out of. Now, normally I am at work through the weekdays, so you guys never see this because I don't usually film during the weekdays. But this is the pipe that I pretty much smoke every morning and usually all day. And maybe a little bit hard to see some of the detail with the candles, but it's like partially rusticated, partially smooth. It's got a really nice stout stem and everything to it. The draw on this is wonderful, and it holds quite a decent amount of tobacco. It's a really nice fit for my hand. Really feels good and ergonomic. It's really light for how stout it is. So it's a great clinching pipe. It's great for using your hands to do other things, drive, work, run a nail gun, whatever. But it's a La Rocca. It's an Italian briar, and this is a basket pipe. I think I paid $35 or $40 for this at the Tinderbox in Dublin, Ohio, um, about 2 years ago or so, and I just loved the way it looked. And I mean, it was really cheap, and I needed a pipe to take to work with me, and it's quickly become one of my favorite smoking pipes that I have. So I'm gonna pack it up in that. I cleaned this yesterday, so I'm going to run some fire through there and make sure there's no residue or anything that I can detect. Seems good. Okay, let's open this tin and check it out. The other thing I like about the presentation of these is it reminds me of when you go to the Russian grocery stores and get like the really good tins of herring or like cod liver. They always come in a tin like this, so it reminds me of eating tinned fish when you open it, which I love. So to me, I just love the packaging. It's such a satisfying thing to crack it open and just peel it too and see what's inside. The finest tobaccos are brought together in careful balance to provide a smoking experience like no other. It is my sincere wish that you will derive as much pleasure from the smoking of this mixture as I have from its creation. It's from GL Pease, the blender. And they always put one of those nice little papers on the top here. The smell is already wafting up. It's very nice. I read it yesterday. I forgot to read it today. Let's see if I can see it here with a little candle. Chelsea morning. Sweet red and bright Virginias, fragrant Orientals, a bit of rich Cyprus Latakia, and just a pinch of Perique. The leaf is blended in layers, briefly pressed, then sliced and tumbled into ribbons. Lively, wow, I'm having a hard time seeing it. That candle's not doing me very good. Let's see. Lively and engaging, with a subtle fruitiness and an elegant creamy texture. It's a great bowl to accompany the morning cup. And that's my favorite smoke of the day and my favorite cup of the day. So yeah, that's why I was dripping wax down my hand onto my desk. I didn't even notice. Oops. Well, I want to get that off of me before I go packing tobacco. Oh no, I dripped it right into the lid. Better that than the tobacco itself. Good thing I'm going to put it in a jar after this. Wow, I just made a mess, guys. Anyways, it's cut into a ribbon. Probably can't see that too well. A little bit. The tin note is nice. It's got a very deep, pungent, kind of like prune plum smell. It's got a little bit of that wet, um, kind of like oak wood smell. Now, I know you guys have heard me go on and on about wood, but I lived for a very long time where the only way I had heat or hot water was to split, stack, and burn firewood. And being the weirdo that I am, oftentimes I would be like taken by the grain patterns, and I'd be splitting the wood that was still a little bit green, some of it thoroughly seasoned, some somewhere in between. And I don't know why, but I just picked them up and smelled them. I just love the smell of that, and I would smell each of those logs I split. Not every single one of them, but the ones that really struck me, whether the grain or maybe they had a scent that really escaped when I split it that was strong. And oak and beech and birch and cherry and apple have some really, really nice, like really strong, sweet, pungent, woody, earthy smells to them. Um, and those of you who are into barbecuing will be very familiar with those smells and that as well, because a lot of the whether you do the chips or you split it and chunk it and stuff yourself, those aromas that escape as you're smoking those types of woods to smoke your meat. So that, I'm gonna guess, is from that Latakia, because that's kind of like one of those characteristics of the Latakia, especially for me. I smell it. It's really reminiscent of that kind of like really pungent, smoky, wood fired kind of barbecue scent. And not like the meat itself, but like, if you were standing near a smoker or something, that aroma that kind of carries through the air. Um, it's got kind of a smell like that, like the sweeter side of it. Yeah, it's a very deep smell. I'm excited to try this. Let's go ahead and pack this bowl and check it out. The texture of it seems really nice, like really, really perfect. It's kind of like, it's got that kind of like dry, um, twiggy kind of feeling at first, but it's like you can press it. It's got some sponginess to it. So there's still, I don't know how they do it. These people are masters of like drying and curing the leaf, but to get that kind of like crispy, dry outer texture that's still dense from moisture retention. So I feel like this is probably going to light beautifully. Also takes away from some of my morning light. I'm sure you guys notice I have the curtain up over the French doors today. I'm trying really hard to um, quit filling the rest of my house with smoke, because this is an old house. This is built in 1900, and although the doors are very beautiful and still functional, they are not seated very well anymore. They're kind of drafty, and I just get carried away, enjoying myself so much in here, bowl after bowl, and then I fill the living room and the dining room, and sometimes it travels up the stairs into the bedrooms. Um, so I'm trying not to do that. But yeah, I'm sure you guys noticed that. That's different. Um, and honestly, it makes it feel kind of cozy and dark in here. I'm digging the candles. And if you guys don't mind it, if the lighting is okay enough to still enjoy the video, I know it is kind of darker, but I mean, I can see myself, so I'm guessing you guys can see all right. But if you enjoy it, um, or if you don't enjoy it, let me know, because I like to make these videos for fun, but obviously if um, people aren't enjoying them, there's really no point. But the reason I'm saying all that is if you do, I'm really digging the candle vibe, and I might continue to do that. It's so funny. I can't believe I dripped wax right into the lid. I think what. Give me just a second. I think what I'm going to do is steal the lid off the unsealed one and put it in there for now and jar it momentarily. Some of these candles are already going out. This might not have been the best choice. Anyways, we're going to smoke regardless and enjoy some coffee. All right. Chelsea morning. Hold on a second, guys. All right. So maybe the candles, even though I really enjoy the ambiance, weren't the best. I've got wax just pouring everywhere. I didn't set any of them on anything, really. Oh well. I'm going to have a mess to clean up later. So, it's very smoky right off the bat. It almost reminds me right off the bat of Dunhill early morning pipe. There's some other things going on to it. It's not exactly the same, but right off the bat, it really reminded me of it. Because Dunhill, although it was very mild and stuff, had some rough edges to it and had a really nice, like dry smokiness to it. And this is similar in that regard. Honestly, so far, I can't really detect one tobacco from the next. Um, I was kind of expecting the flavors to kind of roll into one another, but so far, I'm having a hard time distinguishing anything uh, separately, right? It's definitely um, got a very woodsy, smoky, earthy thing going on. It's musty and a little herbal, but maybe cedary. Maybe that would be a good word for it. Um, it's it's all those qualities, the floral and the herbal and the smoky and stuff, without venturing into that like incense territory. Yeah, it's got a cedar note. I'm getting that big time, like especially on the retrohale, and as that smoke kind of lingers up into my nose, um, I'm really getting like a strong cedary um, kind of flavor profile from all those like musty, smoky, earthy kind of flavors, which I would say are most certainly that's maybe the interplay between the Latakia and the Turkish Oriental. Okay, now I'm getting into it. Now it's starting to I'm getting that it's very very faint, but that sweet, that like deep, dank, kind of pungent sweetness that Latakias are known for. I'm getting a little bit of that. That's so interesting. I was about to say I'm getting some of that sort of sun dried tomato quality that I've mentioned for um, how my palate, anyways, deciphers some of that Latakia, that complexity, especially in like that sweet aspects of it. But then it changed, and I'm not sure I can really describe it because unlike some of the other Latakia rich blends that I enjoy, like for example, Stokeby's connoisseur blend that's made for the tinderbox. It's got obviously a lot of the like earthy, woodsy, that kind of musty, sweet qualities, but it's almost more like a wet kind of sweet, if that makes sense, which I think probably lends itself well in that regard to like the tin note and the smoke qualities when it's described is that kind of like almost barbecuey type thing going on. But this one, the sweets in this, the sweet notes in this are very dry. That's it's interesting. I don't know if I can recall anything quite like that I've smoked in a very long time, maybe ever. And I'm gonna say that the Perique in this is maybe a little heavier handed than a garnish, but not much farther. There's definitely a really spicy, peppery quality to it. Like it lets you know it's there, but it's not overstated. And I'm gonna imagine that it's probably that Perique that's really adding that dry spice note to some of those more herbal and like the aromatic herbal qualities that are with some of that um, Latakia smokiness, because Latakia is usually smoke cured by being dried over burning aromatic herbs. Um, like some of the really nice Latakias, they'll be dried like that for like up to 100 days. Like, so 100 days, they're gathering bundles and bales of these aromatic herbs and burning them and letting that smoke dry and cure the Latakia leaf, which is why it's oftentimes so incense esque. And I think that's where a lot of that really sweet, smoky, in wood, like burning wood, firewood kind of qualities come from, is that process. And then on the, okay, the faintest sour from the Oriental I just picked up, and it's a sour like hmm, this is kind of a hard one to describe, guys. There's actually a lot going on. At first, it was really hard for me to distinguish anything. It was just very smoky, really reminiscent of Dunhill's early morning pipe, right from the first light and the first minute or so with it. Hmm. Yeah, there's some complexities going on in here that I haven't experienced from something that's this mild in a while. Because it's, excuse me, it's definitely got its own and very different thing going on from Squadron Leader, which I think is brilliantly complex by also being incredibly mild. This one is definitely more robust. Um, it's like, it's very, very light on the palate um, for how flavorful and how complex the nuances of the flavor are, especially right now, a little bit into the bowl. I'm probably like a third of the way into it. But it's quite robust. It's definitely got some rough edges. Um, the Perique seems to be enhanced a little bit more and more as I get farther into the bowl. Um, and I'm going to say that the nicotine hit is probably medium. I can feel it a little bit. So I definitely wouldn't say that the Nick hit is on the light side. I would say it's probably in the medium range. My main light went out. Let's see if I can switch these over here without getting wax everywhere again. Oh, you guys should see this desk. There's fucking wax everywhere. It's probably a bad idea. I'm gonna have a hell of a time cleaning it up. I mean, it's like rolling down. So this desk that I sit at is a postmaster's desk from like 1890, 1900, somewhere in there. I got it from some really nice people up in Maine, and it was this guy's grandmother's, and they just, I don't know why they didn't want it, but they just didn't want it. And it's kind of, it's like one of those things that it's honestly in pretty rough shape, but it's still so functional and such a beautiful piece of furniture. It's just really cool looking. I'll have to, get a better view of it for you guys sometime. Or hell, I'll just do it right now. Let's put this camera around and you can see what I've got going on here. I don't know how to do that actually. Let's pause it and see if I figure it out. Well, I don't know how to flip it around, but here. Mm, I guess it's too dark, but you can see I've got candles going, and you can see right there, there's a big old pile of wax around all of them. But anyways, yeah, this is really interesting blend. Um, it's kind of surprising me. It's not exactly what I thought I was going to be getting into. Um, it's a little bit more robust for what I was expecting for an early morning pipe, and it's got a lot of nuanced flavor. A lot. The Perique, once you get into it, is really bold and peppery. Um, so I would say that if you like Perique, um, you'll probably really enjoy this. If you don't like Perique, just try it. I'm always an enthusiast for trying something at least once before you naysay it. But if you are not a fan of Perique, this is perhaps not the morning blend for you. But the like dryness of the ribbon cut is superb. Packs in really easily, really well. Takes the light really well. I haven't had to relight it yet, which is nice for how much I gab. And I see this, we're at 32 minutes, so this is going to be one of the longest videos yet. But a lot going on here. Kind of a hard one to describe for the first bowl. I think I'm going to have to really spend some time with this one, and probably we'll have to revisit it in an upcoming video here, maybe in the next few weeks or so. The Nick hit is definitely in the medium range, and I'm kind of a nicotine lightweight, so I really can feel the head change from it. So be mindful of that if you're a nicotine lightweight. Um, this one is a little bit stronger, but it's also really mild. The mouthfeel of it is really, really mild. And the retro hail has some interesting things going on, but then it's gone. Not a lot of lingering flavors or whatever on the palate after the retro hail. And it smokes pretty cool. Um, no moisture in the pipe at all that I can detect. And it just changed again. Now I'm getting some of that fruitiness that they mentioned. Ooh, that's good. Mm, that's really interesting. There's almost like this like faint kind of sweet cinnamony fruity, I don't know, something really interesting just happened with the flavors here. Mm. Yeah, I think you guys should try Chelsea Morning. I think you guys are going to like this. If you're an early morning fifer, if you liked the Dunhill early morning pipe, I feel like this is reminiscent enough, but actually has more going on. I would have to say um, this one is better. I like it more than the early morning pipe. Um, it's got quite a bit more complexity going on. It's a little bit more stout while still having that really nice, mild mouthfeel. But yeah, there you have it. I'm going to stop there. Uh, Chelsea Morning from GL Pease. Check it out. Hope everyone has a good day. Cheers.